Hello, various humans. Welcome to another daily chat with the Dice Tower, everybody. You just get me for tonight. I apologize if you were hoping for a little more, a little pizzazz in your life this evening. You just get me. I'm sorry. Let's see what's going on. Nick says hello. Hello, Nick. All right, let's see. I was wondering where tonight's chat is. The video has the wrong date. What? Oh, the video description has a typo? I'll check it out. Alright, hello everybody. Corlu, Timon, Nick, right. All my usual suspects. Mr. Dreadful. I love that comment with your screen name. Mr. Dreadful. It's Z time. That you don't get that in a script every day. Alright, let's see what's going on. Humans, that's right. Thanos, I guess hard to say. Cool. I'm glad, Corlu, you were watching the Infinity Gauntlet thing. Yeah, that's fun. I really like that game. That's a great spin on Love Letter. Now I own Love Letter, Lovecraft Letter, the Cthulhu one. I own that. It's a really fancy edition of Love Letter, and it's got a gameplay twist. It's not just a different theme. It's got a different vibe, a different thing going on, but I've got it over there, the Infinity Gauntlet one. It's fantastic. I think it's the best one. Bryce, hello. Mr. Dreadful says, the day they played Robinson Crusoe, I ordered a copy. Finally supposed to arrive today by 9. Sweet, man. I'm glad. Very exciting. Very exciting. The wrong date on the stream. Okay. These little things happen. I realized I left some wrong information in one of my reviews recently. It's just a lot going on with cut this thing and upload that and prep this and schedule this other thing, so I missed it. I always kind of kick my own butt when I do that, but it's also, we're human and all that jazz. Bryce says, excited to hear your comments about Marvel United Solo. Is it different than just playing multiple characters? Bryce, unfortunately, I cannot tell you that yet. I don't have it. Tom has it. It arrived today, and he and the rest of the guys at the office played it. And I'll be swinging by work tomorrow, and I'll grab it, and I'll be able to play it. So I'm going to play Solitaire. I'll be able to try a 2-player. So I don't know yet. I don't have any answers for you. But I will, we will soon. Alejandro Diaz San Vicente says, hi, Z. Hey, do you like PAX Premiere? I haven't played it. I am excited about the game, but my friends and wife can't care less can't care less about Afghan politics, and I don't know how to sell the game. I don't know. I mean, I guess if nobody else is particularly interested in the theme, whatever it may be, it is going to be a harder time. It's going to be a harder sell, right? Like you're saying. Is there something else about the game you think they would really enjoy, right? I mean, the theme is but one thing in a multitude of things for every game that could be a hook, right? There's plenty of games I enjoy and play where I don't like the theme. Now, I won't play a game that I actively oppose the theme. There's simply too many games for that. But a game in which the theme I can forget, sure, I'll play that if there's something else interesting about it. From what I've heard from Mike DeLisio mostly, PAX Premiere is very mechanically interesting. That's what I've heard. So maybe that's the way to tell your friends and wife to give it a try. They might like it. They might like the game. They might not like the theme. That's all. All right, let's see. Steve says, got Friday. Can't wait to play. Very cool. Friday's a neat little card game. Greetings Z says, I don't know how to pronounce your first name, But your last name, I'm going to guess, is Castañeda. Greetings to you as well. Cruvor, that's a crazy name. Anyway, you say, hey Z, is it true that you played a zombie in the movie Living Dead Lockup? It is indeed true that I played a zombie in that film. And it's I say film. It's like a little movie. A friend of mine made it. We were both in college at the time still. It was a low-budget zombie movie, and he made it, and I have, like, a tiny bit in it. So, yes, it's technically true. Mr. Dreadful says, oh, speaking of Robinson Crusoe, do we know anything about the treasure chest and new adventure book? No, I haven't seen, at least I haven't seen anything about that since the announcement. Mr. Rob says, happy Thursday, Mr. Garcia. Happy Thursday to you, sir. Nathan is asking, what was your favorite game from Virtual Gaming Con and from Summer Spectacular? Well, let me think here. During Summer Spectacular, there's a few things I played. I do believe my favorite was Infinity Gauntlet. I kept a copy of that, in fact. You know, I asked if I could have one. From Tom. During the Virtual Gaming Con, my favorite thing is probably what I ended up then replicating Monday, which was I got a group together and we were able to play the app version of Istanbul. And that was really fun. Everybody was fantastic. We had a good time together. The app is tight, so it runs really well. There were no hiccups, no issues with the graphical interface of something like a tabletop simulator or Tabletopia. I like playing on an app if at all possible. So I then went ahead and did the what's happening on Monday because I enjoyed that experience so much. Nathan has a good question here. Oh, I should be putting these up, shouldn't I? Yeah, let me change where my name is here. I'll throw that up here somewhere. Okay, let's put these up on the screen, guys. There we go. Nathan says, do you have a favorite top 10 list, a most memorable one? That's a good question. I do, actually. There's been a ton of fantastic top 10s that I've just had an absolute blast doing. I also have a least favorite that I'm not going to mention, but my favorite, or the one I remember distinctly having just a really good time talking through and sort of putting together, was one we did probably several years ago now, in which it was something along the lines of top 10 weird bits in games or strange things in games or what have you. So I think that was my that one was just really fun. I enjoyed that. I brought in props. I brought in not props, but like the things from the game to show off. Look at this weird thing that comes in this game. So I really like that one. All right, let's see. Hey Z, will Living Dead Lockup 4 ever come out? I don't know. No answer for you, Garrett. Fingers crossed, man. Maybe I'll make a comeback in it. Risen again. You never know. Nathan says, did you rearrange your shelves? Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I want to say. I moved some stuff around, grouped some things in different areas of the room here. So, yeah. Stuff for you here. Says, my son and I got into Unmatched. Thanks to you. Love the game. Really excited for Cobble and Fog. Fantastic. I'm happy to hear it. Cobble and Fog is, if you didn't notice from my review, something I very much I'm a fan of. So I'm hoping you enjoy it. Mr. Dreadful says 1 to 10. What's your hype level for the Whale Rider game? I just saw a video about that as well. I am going to go with 3. I'm at a 3 right now. interested, I'll check it out. I'm not gonna back it. That's not very telling. I don't back that many things. But yeah, it looks all right. I like the look of it, but it also looks kind of like another set collection game from Knizia, which is always good, but won't set my gaming table ablaze. Corlu says, everyone says Five Tribes is awesome, but the art is so off-putting. I did hear you can get alternate art, though. I haven't played it, so I don't know about the art or the game. But again, to bring up Mike DeLisio once more, he's a big fan of it. Bryce says, what's your favorite unmatched expansion so far? It is Cobble and Fog that I was just talking about. Mr. Rob says, good to see Broom Service on the shelf. I think it is an underrated or even forgotten game. I certainly would say so. Unfortunately, I do have some issues with it. With the graphical design of it, I think some of the castles on the map, there are these castles you can deliver to. I think they could have been a little clearer as to which section of land the castle lies within. It's not very clear. I have a problem with that. I really do. I think graphical issues like that should not happen ever. It's not like you press a button, like it's not typing. You didn't make a typing mistake. That happens because it took a split second. Someone designing what a board looks like and painting it over days or maybe weeks, there's no excuse for that. Wow, Nick, that's a throwback. I picked up Parade and played two-player game against a really smart opponent. I squeaked by with a win. I really like that game. I want to play with more players. Yeah, Parade, gosh, I haven't played that in years and years, but Parade is a good one. It's a really tricky, slightly obtuse kind of card game, but it is good, and it scales up pretty well, from what I remember. All right, let's see. Raz137 says, I remember seeing Splotter's Antiquity on your shelf before. I don't see it now. It got moved. Which doesn't seem like a Zee Garcia game. What other games would surprise us that you like? Well, two things, okay? A, you're assuming it's my game just because you can see it in the background. B, you're assuming I've played it. And C, if I have played it, you're assuming I liked it. So, you got to be careful about assumptions because when you assume, you do things that you shouldn't do. I'll leave it at that. Corlu says, any good... I've been forgetting to throw these up on the screen again. Gosh, I'm so distracted just by chatting. Corlu says, any good stories from behind the scenes of the Dice Tower? Golly. I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are many. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'm not... Like, it always blows my mind when folks are at talk shows and they always seem to have a ready story to go. I don't know if they know what's coming. I don't. I think I would be terrible if that actually is off the cuff. I would be terrible at that. But, sure, there's a ton of stuff. We have a good time. It's a great group of people. It has been. We've gone through a few sort of evolutions of the people we work with, right? Or, folks have come, folks have gone. But it's always been interesting. It's always been engaging. And so we have a lot of fun. Tricky Tides. Having the trick-taking element as Tricky Tides... Sorry. Matt says, having the trick-taking element as Tricky Tides work well with two players. Yeah, it's okay with two players. It's better with more, but it's fine with two players. Alright, Nathan's asking here, what are you doing with ads happening in the near future? Well, I've got coming, this is already scheduled, so I think you can see it. I've got coming live play of Forbidden Desert. So that's my next one on Monday. Other than that, I'm not planning that far out. That's my next one. I'll pick something else for next Monday. Really, they don't take a lot of research. You know what I mean? I don't have to learn the game and play it a bunch of times and shoot it and review it and talk and put my thoughts together on paper and then say it. So it's a little easier to do that. I don't have to plan that far out. So I don't know what's after that. I'm happy to take suggestions. If there's some particularly good app I might not be aware of, I'm happy to hear it. Roy O says, "Hi Z, did you watch Tres Patines growing up?" I did not, because I did not grow up. I'm Cuban, so we didn't have that. I grew up in Cuba. I saw that later here in this country. So I wouldn't say I grew up watching it. No, I saw it after I was already a teenager. Luke says, has the Dice Tower done a top 10 of top 10 moments? We do something like that. We do top 10. Oh, I think. Okay, hold on. I just fell down the tree and hit every branch. Have we done a top 10 list of moments from previous top 10s? I think is what you're asking. We have not, as far as I know. That would take... I think it's just an insane amount of research into something we're probably not that interested in, which is rewatching our own things. So, no, we're happy to let other people, if they're interested in doing that, do that. Like, find some favorite moments of your own. You know what I mean? But for us to kind of ring, or what's the saying? Ring our own bell? Is that right? That's what I wanted to say. Ring our own bell that way? Just seems uninteresting, I'll say. It seems gaudy. Woodfish, that question you're asking, were some of your favorite toys as a kid? Were you a collector of anything? I will say, see my previous answer about being a little Cuban boy. Alright, Nathan says, who will you play first once you get your hands on Marvel United? Who will I play first? I'm going to play through... I want to play the baddies, I think, in the order that they recommend them for difficulty. So, Red Skull first, second guy, whoever he is, and then the Taskmaster last. He's supposed to be the hardest. As far as the characters, I don't know. I don't care. I'll play Iron Man first, I think. These guys ignored Iron Man today in their playthrough, but I'm going to go with him first. Iron Man rocks. Tom Vassell is wrong. All right. Let's see here. That's an interesting question, Steve. It says, Z, do you feel almost any game can be made solo? I think the opposite of that is very much true. I would say most games cannot be made solo, or at least not in any meaningful way where you retain the feeling of that game. I suppose if you are asking mechanically, can every game be made solitaire? Sure. I mean, I could literally play any game, play for everyone at the table. Any game. Including games that have hidden information, including games in which I am bluffing. Technically, that's possible. Will you lose the flavor of like 80% of games if you do that? Yeah, you will. So, my answer is basically, no, I disagree with that strongly. I hope that answers your question. Dennis is asking, is Nemesis worth buying? I have no idea. Two things, I've never played it. And second thing, I have no idea how much money you make. Alright. Alright, Adam, let's see. Hey Z, hello. I got into Arkham Horror, the card game, a few weeks ago and absolutely love it. What would you say is your favorite class/character to play as, And which is your favorite campaign? Well, as far as campaigns, I'm going to have to decline to answer that. I'm behind the curve by quite a bit. As far as class, I know my least favorite is, and I don't know the names. Okay, I'm going to go with colors here. My least favorite is purple. The magic users, very mystical, lots of, some more complicated of all the colors I want to say. As far as my favorite, probably, I like red a lot. And I know blue's like very, attacky, guns blazing kind of. But probably yellow. It's very investigative. It's got Rex Murphy, I think his name is, in there. He's one of my favorites. So, yeah, whichever thing yellow stands for, I think is my favorite. Okay, this is a good question from Fred as well. Hey Z, how do you purge your games? eBay, friendly local game store, donate, something else? It's pretty straightforward. Whenever I do it, I simply take it to work. I kind of give it back to work because sometimes it came from work and it's something I added to my collection. Sometimes it's not. It's something I bought and ended up not keeping for one reason or another, but it all goes back to work, goes back to Tom so that he can put it into an auction. He can, make it part of a bundle for Jack Vassal Memorial Fund so that he can, etc., whatever, wherever it goes after he's got it, just so that I can give back, at least part of what I'm taking as far as games go, yeah? So again, I don't worry about, well, this is a game I bought, so I'm not going to take it to work. I don't care about that. It's going back to work. It's going back to him. All right, let's get rid of that. Whew, that is a tough question. Corlu says, if the world was ending, which no one's saying it's not, by the way, and you had a one-way ticket on a time machine, which time and place would you go to? I'm assuming you mean only back, seeing as to how the world is ending. I don't know. I guess the cheesy part of me wants to go back to when like, my parents were young. So, but, I don't know. That would be good. As far as, like, what time period I want to see, it largely gets worse and worse the longer you go back. I mean, right? Sort of. Renaissance, maybe, to see that world. Industrial, like early 1900s. That's interesting too. Maybe really far back. Go, to... Gosh, I don't know. You know what? No, I know. I'm going to go to somewhere in the 1700s when pirates are at their peak. That's where I'm going to go. I'm going to see what's up with these pirates. Always looting people, doing awful things. What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? Ooh-wee. What's up with that? What's up with it? If you guys don't get that, it's an SNL bit. Forget it. Carrie Schumann says, hello, Carrie. I see Black Angel behind you. Are you still enjoying that? I feel like the more plays I get of it, the more I like it, but I seem to be in the minority. Carrie, I agree with you. The game grew on me. The more plays of it I've had, the more I am enjoying it. Now, to be fair, I haven't played it in a while. So technically that could change next time I play it, but the trend seemed to be the same thing you experienced. So thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it as well. Ted is asking, can I play a game with you on the next Dice Tower cruise? If yes, what game? Ted, normally like to pick those things out together as opposed to like tell people what we're playing. I don't like doing that. So I think the question really is, what would you like to play? But I reserve the right to say, no, let's play something else. Right? That's the way to go. You let me know, Ted. All right, I'm catching up. Here we go. Skipping Jordan. Nothing. Useless. There we go. Jerry, that's a nice question, but it's too complicated for my mushy brain right now. Okay, hold on. Am I confusing this with something else? Okay. I was confused with the Tres Patines question. I was thinking of something else. My dad would have a fit because he loves it. So, no, you cannot watch it. It is a radio show. It is a Cuban radio show. And yes, I absolutely heard it. It was one of those things that, like, my dad would have it on. So I have kind of a love-hate relationship with it, where it's sort of the thing you have to listen to with dad, when you're a little kid and you're like, oh, it's just so, like, it's just anything you have to do because dad is kind of like, that's his thing and you do it with him, you will rebel against a bit, right? As I got older, he still listened to it, but as I got older, then I had a little more fun with it and I could enjoy it, and it's certainly very clever. So yes, Pototo y Filomeno, Tres Patines, yes, it's very funny. It is fantastic stuff. It's timeless in a way. It's really old, but it is. You could listen to it now, and it holds up. It's kind of like a board game as opposed to a video game, right? The video in a video or a video game would decay, right? The video looks old, or the graphics look old. You listen to a radio show, just like playing a board game, and it's kind of timeless. All right. Do you think Tom will finally get his duck dice, Mr. Dreadful? I assume that man is always. My assumption is he's always waiting for duck dice, and therefore I'm never surprised. I always assume he's going to be wearing something strange, and therefore I am never surprised. There's only so much my ticker can take. That's the safest route. James is asking, how much time does it take to prepare your game segments with Tom for board game breakfast? It depends on the segment. Some are very work intensive, like research intensive. This also would be a good question for him, by the way. So it depends. For me, for example, if I'm doing 20 questions, it's a little easier. That one doesn't take very much time. If I do 10 for 10, that takes a little more time. That's going to take me finding a topic, really is a big part of it. And then finding 10 things that all have distinct answers, where the gaps aren't so tight that they're just jerky and it could be switched, on a day-to-day basis, things like that. And then the one I did last week, which was still called 20 questions, but it's like 20 questions, 20 letters is what I call it in my head anyway. That takes the longest amount of time. That takes hours. That's going to take me 3-4 hours probably. All right, let's see. Jerry D says, one of my recent favorite moments was Zee laughing and ribbing Tom for the next 20 minutes at a word Tom made up. He does do that. Tom makes up words. He gets away with it, too. Today we did a couple of... Well, we did a stream together, and then he did some streams in the afternoon, but he was having a hard time getting all his words in the right sequence a little bit. Just, mouth. Not wanting to behave and cooperate. Z, have you ever gotten a counterfeit game? No, I haven't. And we were just talking about that, actually, earlier today with on breakfast, I think it was, that no, we have not, thankfully. Marcus says, have you played Alf? I don't know how to pronounce that. Ausha? I don't know. No, I haven't played. That's that trucking game, right? That we said was one of the winners for the Spiel. Haven't played it. Okay, Alejandro Diaz says, I want to play a Cthulhu-themed game, and I am between Arkham Horror 3rd Edition and Cthulhu Death May Die. Any thoughts? I like Arkham Horror 3rd Edition better. But there are so many videos for both of these. You should be quite informed once you've watched those two. It shouldn't feel like a blind buy at all, really. I mean, there's enough information out there where I think you can make a pretty informed call. Better Half Review says, Z, what's the cool looking leather book on your top shelf? It is, my friend, that. It's a campaign log for Arkham Horror, the card game, which has this cool thing on it, and also the sheets in here for the different campaigns. That's what it is. Very nice. Very classy, very fancy. Got it as a gift. I love it. Stay. Here we go. All right, let's see. So you guys are talking about, I'm probably way behind, I realize that. You're talking about Marvel United. Yeah, I don't know when they're going to ship those. You're saying, I'd say I'm never going to buy it, but I'm lying. Mr. Dreadful says, I have the Kickstarter issue too. There's like 10 add-ons for that game. Irritated that I can't get Gamora, though. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not feeling super thrilled about that whole situation, I'll be honest with you. I am waiting to see what is gonna happen, but yeah, I'm not beyond thrilled that I went full in on that game. We'll see. Roy Canaday says, what flavor of G Fuel do you most self-identify with? I'd have to say, Mr. Canaday, that's got to go up on the screen. I apologize. It's got to be the watermelon, man. Or, if I'm feeling particularly adventurous, Blue Chug Rug can be delectable. But basically, watermelon. Also, Mr. Canaday, don't you have things you need to be doing? Like, say, not doing Dice Tower stuff? Alright, let's see. Oh, he just like spammed it. Corlu says, what is your favorite food? Italian, whatever, Italian. Alright, let's see. All right, let's take a look. I love how people are answering now the going back question. When Timon says, I'd go back and buy Amazon stock. What for? The world's ending. When you jump back and your stock is worth a bunch, then the world ends. All right, let's see. luiscortesherrera. I'm loving these names today. Is asking, is there a movie you would have loved to see in theaters? Sure, there are plenty. I want to say Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I was not yet in this country when that film came out. I would have loved to have seen that at a movie theater. I think that would have been a really just an impressive experience. I really liked that movie. I used to own a VHS of it and watched it many, many, many times. So, yeah, T2 is my answer. Nick says Z would make something of himself in pirate times and end up being a regularly occurring character in today's pirate-themed board games. That's right, baby. That's thinking outside the timeline. That's how you do it. All right. The mystery says I have rediscovered Deus and like that a lot. Also, I love it. All right. Let me see. I'm catching up. Steven Shivers says, "Hey Z, how often do you play The Godfather?" Well, I own about, I want to say I'm around 460 games or so. So let's assume also that I am actually getting to play these games regularly, which I can assure you I'm not. I'm usually playing something new for work. So assuming I was playing one of these games every day, then a fairly safe assumption is a little over a year. Once a year. Right? Not true. Because I don't get to play them that often. Now, certainly there are some days where I'll play 3 games. But I don't play it that often. Pretty much no game do I play that often. You know? There's a few games I'll play. You know, there'll be an outlier when it comes to that. Because I'll play it a lot, or I play very little. Usually it's because I play it a lot. That's why it's an outlier. But, no, The Godfather I wouldn't say is one of them. I do enjoy it, though. I have it. I enjoy it. It just doesn't hit the table that frequently. It also is a little better, I think, with more players, and right now that's not going to be happening. All right, here we go. Z would go back and become a Viking just to stick it to Sam. I love it. All right, guys. Corlu says, "Oh, well, does Z have a dice fetish too? Do you understand Tom's obsession?" I don't. Dice are fine in games. I don't either. Not really. I like dice. I do enjoy dice. I like custom dice quite a bit. I would not say I don't collect dice. I'm not into dice. I own a few, but Tom has. It's an embarrassment of riches when it comes to dice. For me, my thing would be, if money was not an object, coins. Metal coins is my thing. I love metal coins in games. You know, custom coins. Fit all sorts of things. That's my thing. Sorry if my cameras are a little shaky here. Alright, Rachel says, "Is Z short for something?" It is indeed. My first name begins with a Z. That's why. And people started calling me that in middle school, high school, and it stuck. All right, let's see. Trying to catch up here, folks. Okay, you guys just got to, or I just got rather, to the place where you guys are talking about my campaign log. Quite a bit behind. Z, what's your opinion of sleeving? Are you like me, where every game must be sleeved, or do you hold the opposite position? Largely, Herman, the opposite position. I am not a big sleever. I like the feel of cards, especially good cards. I want card quality to be high, and so when a game has high quality cards and I can feel those, the snap of a good lid and finish, nice thickness, not too thin, not too thick, I want those cards. I want to be able to shuffle them and feel them and manipulate the pieces in the game. And playing with card sleeves feels somewhat like wearing, latex gloves. So, but I have sleeves. I have some games that are sleeved. So I'm not completely against them either. But the general rule is, I don't sleeve until necessary. Very judicial of me. All right, let me see if I can catch up here. Roy says, I always do Dice Tower stuff. Go home, Roy. Cubano, with salami or without salami? Salami is not very Cuban, so I'm going to say without. All right, let's see. Catchy. Metal coin, spending real money on fake money. It is true. I understand the hypocrisy in that. I think I told my story on one of these Q&As where when Tom and I were invited to go to Iceland, their money there, the krona, it's there's quite a small denomination, right? So, you can buy a Coke for, I want to say it's 500 krona or so. Something like that. And that's about $4 or $5, something like that. So it's about 100 to 1 or nearly 100 to 1. So you can get denominations down to 1 krona. And that is extremely inexpensive. So given time and given the ability, which I didn't have, but given time and the ability to go to a bank in Iceland and exchange dollars for, US dollars for krona, I could get a fantastic sort of nautical themed deck of playing coins that are actual currency for way less than I can back a similar set on Kickstarter. And their coins have fish and various things like that. So it tickled me. I thought it was just kind of funny. It did keep some coins that I brought back from there. Oh, that's a good question there. Z, I know you were a fan of Tikal. I recently got Mexica on sale, $25. Good deal. It's amazing, not as much as Tikal. What do you think of Mexica? I feel the same way as you do. I think Tikal is amazing. It's more amazing than Mexica, but I really like Mexica as well. Now Tikal, for me, I have the new version of both of these, Tikal and Mexica. Original Tikal to the new Tikal with the fancy resin buildings. It looks different, but both games very strong. For me, the first time I played Mexica, I liked it a little less than this last time when I played Mexica. I was able to pick up a copy of Mexica at Dice Tower East. Dice Tower West. This past, it was this year actually, February. So I have a recent copy of Mexica as well, and I liked it more than I remembered liking it the first time. So I played it, and I was like, I gotta get a copy of this for myself again from my old one I had many years ago and let that go. So I agree, it's not as good as Tikal, but I like it next, and then Java or Cusco now would be my third in that trilogy of games. All right, let's go ahead and keep on going. Carrie says, what's the big drink of choice in Cuba? I'd assume rum, but I was surprised by aguardiente in Colombia, so you never know. Yeah, both, actually, are Cuban drinks. Rut gut kind of stuff, aguardiente, yeah. But rum, I guess, ideally would be, if you were able to get it, that would be a nice drink. All right, let's see. The Tampa area puts salami on their Cubanos due to the large Italian population. Okay, cool. All right, let's see. Nick says, I love the new print of Takao. Wish I could find it a little more, a little bit of a better deal. Roy O says, when are you going to be back on with Sporadically Bored? I don't know. That once was good. I loved doing it with these guys. But I think a big, fantastic part of that show is the sort of revolving door vibe of it, and the aloofness of the whole thing that somehow still coalesces into something at the end. I don't know how they do it. I think it's great. The way I love how they listening to that show and being on it puts me in a frame of mind, in a sort of rambling frame of mind that I don't often find myself in, and it is useful to find yourself in that state of mind when you're doing a podcast, especially one like that. So I like listening to it, and I like being on it. I doubt I'll be back, though. I don't want to saturate anything that I'm a part of with just, oh, I'm back. I don't know. I don't really like that. All right, let's see. This is a good one. Nathan, Z, and Chad. What forthcoming game are you most eagerly anticipating? I think for me, it is going to be, well, Pandemic Legacy Season 0. But also Sleeping Gods from Red Raven Games. I'm really looking forward to that. I want to check that out. I don't know if I'm going to play it a whole lot because I have Near and Far, and I'm not playing that a whole lot. See my previous problem about having too many games. But I'm looking forward to it. Comic Book B says, do you like La Carreta? It's not my favorite Cuban restaurant, but many people like it. I think it's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like, being Italian and wanting to go to Cheesecake Factory, maybe? I don't know, like that kind of thing. It's like they have Italian food or Italian kinds of food, but yeah, it's good. It's fine. I'm not a snob about food, so. All right, let's see. Garrett says, if you could plant 3 fruit trees, what would you choose? I guess the question, my first follow-up question would be, what is the intent of me planting these? Is it to eventually recoup my plants, my effort in fruit? If so, you're really just asking me what my 3 favorite fruits are. And if so, I'm going to say, but it has to be a tree. Okay. I'm going to say a cherry tree. I'm going to say a coconut palm. And I'm going to say, which we had a coconut palm when I was growing up out front. And I'm going to say for my third thing, maybe an orange tree. I like oranges. Or a mango tree. Okay, Raz says, do you have any pets? Z, I do not. I am quite allergic to cats. Like, extremely allergic to cats. Very allergic to dogs. That was easy. All right, let's see. Steven Shiver says, what's your favorite compatibility card? This is a great question. Where is it? I love it. What is your favorite compatibility? I found out much after I had this game, like, years after I had this version, that there had been reprints of this with different card artwork, different choices on the cards. So, for those of you that don't know, this game here is one of my favorite party games. Party-esque. It's like a low-key party game. It's like a couples game. The way it works is, you draw one of these cards, you roll a die, whatever, and this has let me pick a different one here. There we go. So that would be the card, okay? Come on. Can you see it? Okay, are you locked? This might be have the focus locked on it. Anyway, I'd roll a die and it picks a thing. So let's say 6 comes up. It says affection on it, okay? And then each player has a deck of cards. So my deck of cards might look like this. My partner's deck of cards would have the same 2 colors reversed. They're identical decks of cards. And we would go through them and pick 5 cards that we think have the strongest association to affection. Then we rank those 5. It might be 4, it might be 3 cards, depends where you are on this board. And then we compare my choices to theirs. If we link up, you get to move a couple of steps on this spiral track on the board. If you have an identical match, like my 1 is their 1, you move a couple steps. If my 1 is their 3, you just move 1 step. So that's it. And so the cards are all sorts of things. They're great. As far as which one is my favorite, let me take a quick look here and see. It's probably that one. There's some of them that get some good use. Quite a bit of use. It might be that one, yeah. It's one of these 3. These are my favorites, okay? And not for this topic, by the way. It's just my favorite cards. I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot. Very expressive, very, evocative. And then that one gets picked for a lot of stuff, baby. So, that's it. That's the game. And I love it. It's a great conversation piece. It is, brings people together. It really does. Alright, where are we at? Alright, Goofy Spielt says, what are you a snob about? Gosh, I don't know. I'm sure there are things I'm snobby about, but I don't know. I am kind of a snob about, spelling. I'm kind of a snob about that. I'm sorry about the shake. I like good grammar, that sort of thing. Generally, I'm not awful. I'm not like really a militant about it, but it's important to me. And spelling is important. I think generally speaking, if I am consuming something, I'm reading something, and there are spelling mistakes, I am quickly dismissive of that thing. So I just find if you are going to be a writer and write, it should mean something to you, or I assume it means something to you. And if there are spelling mistakes, it would be like me, I don't know, going to see your, you working on a wooden table, but the legs are different lengths and the surface is badly finished. So it's kind of the way I see it. Maybe that's my snobby thing. All right, let's see. Catchy uppy. Oh, that's an interesting question. Favorite Oh my goodness, I read that as saying favorite candy scent. I kid you not. That's what I thought it said. Favorite candle scent. It makes a lot more sense. Here's my favorite candy scent. Let me find it. This one. Let me take this little thingy off of it. Hold on 1 second here. I'm getting to you. That is my favorite candy scent. C. Howard's Violet, quote-unquote, mints. I have no idea why they call these mints. They're clearly not minty. But they are little violet candies. They look like that. They do say C. Howard's on them, and they are quite fragrant. They do smell like violets, like cleaning products in a good way, like really nice cleaning products, and they taste very nicely. I have a candle in here, which was a reject that was going to be dismissed. And I don't like being wasteful at all. So I was like, no, 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 we're not getting rid of a candle. I don't care what it smells like. I am saving this candle. I don't care if it's a Christmas candle. It's being saved. It is being used. So I have been using it. Now it just smells like violets, doesn't it? It probably smells like something ridiculous, like fresh sparkling snow. You know. So I'm not super picky with that. I'm sure I do have some favorites, but I cannot think of what they are off the top of my head. I like, what kind of scents do I like? I like, piney kind of scents, I think. That was a lot of information you didn't want, I'm telling you. Yum, cleaning products. Yeah. No, I know. Lily Rock says, Z, you should try violet gelato when you can. It's delicious. That sounds good. I would try that. I'm in. Yeah, pines. Yeah, that kind of thing. I like that. I had a coconut candle once, which was nice. I actually, ideally, for me, I don't like candles as much as I like diffusers. I guess it's not in here, but I think I got them like at Kohl's or someplace like that. A nice diffuser with some reeds. You put them in there in the oil, and they'll diffuse that oil. I think it gives you a really good, slightly more pure scent than the burning of the wax will. But again, I wasn't about to waste a candle. Nathan says something that you should all take note of is deep and meaningful. He says, my friend Tiffany gave me my first candle. I thought it was meaningful, but then she married my best friend. That's deep, man. That's some heartfelt stuff. That's cold as ice, too. Tiffany... There's two ways to look at it, right? Tiffany did give you a candle. It's a nice gesture. And then you had candle to keep you warm. Because she wasn't going to do it. To give you something nice to smell. And to keep you company, basically. The other way to look at it is... she done you wrong. But, Coralu says a friendship candle. That's fine. That's fine, too. It's way too late in the night for greatest unfulfilled ambition. I could barely tell you greatest unfulfilled ambition of the day. No. That's right, I'm throwing that up. Diffusers are super nice, not as toxic. I don't know about being toxic, but... Best candle I ever smelled was mulberry. So I wanted a mulberry. Then I found out I can't buy mulberries at the store. This is like... Guys, this is becoming... If this had the right number of syllables, I would declare these haikus. Because you guys are dropping some gorgeous knowledge. I'm touched. Raz is bringing it. Nathan is bringing it. Here we go. Border Chappie gets it. Greatest unfulfilled dessert choice. It's an easy choice. We were once, I want to say, in Texas, possibly for BGG Con. This was years ago. We were out to dinner with a group of folks. It was a lovely sushi dinner. Upon the completion of that sushi dinner, we were offered desserts, and they were read out to us. One of those choices was a mango creme brulee. That's right. Is that right? Yeah, mango creme brulee. We all thought it sounded amazing. Most of the table ordered a mango creme brulee. And 15 or 10 minutes later, they came out of the kitchen and told us there is one mango creme brulee left. You can have that one. So somebody else at the table had it. We were all courteous and allowed that person to have it. But I got to tell you, that's the one that got away. Not a week goes by where I don't wake up covered in sweat, shortness of breath upon me, thinking, I should have tried that mango creme brulee. You know, you can't have everything. Violet candies, where's that? See, Lego Assassin gets it. Here we go. It says, I had to do a tasting of many liqueurs for one of my college classes. Oh, I got questions for you. Violet liqueur was really tasty, or is really tasty, but smells like blended dry sheets and looks like blended up Barney. That's right. But it's tasty stuff. I'd rather this than lavender. Lavender, no. But violet, whatever this is good. Okay, Amanda says, what's the weirdest question you've ever been asked? There's lots of weird questions I'm asked that I don't answer because they are too weird. And usually it's personal questions. You know, those tend to be the weird ones. Like when somebody who I don't know and doesn't really know me is like, hey, you know, like something really personal. I'm like, what? I'm not answering that. I'll just ignore that. So usually it's something like that. What am I doing? I'm sorry. Violet candy is too good. I apologize. All right. Am I out of time yet? I am out of time. Phil says, hey Z, love your stuff. Thanks for what you do for the Dice Tower and the hobby. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate that. Jasper says, great candle discussion. Generous sense in all aspects, really, because we talk about, reed diffusion and everything. Gospel says, Z, are you still a fan of Deadwood? I am. I don't own it anymore, but I like it. You once stated it replaced Carson City. I don't know about that. But I don't like Carson City particularly, but I don't think one replaces the other. Deadwood is much lighter. All right. Anything else? Any good ones? Guys, it's been great. I've had a good time tonight. Thank you. Okay, Dan's gonna go finish playing Blue Moon City. Nick is laughing at me, suckling candy. Gospel is asking, here's a strange personal question. Do you wear Dice Tower underwear? No. Don't wear underwear at all. It's not true. But that's the kind of issues you can get into when you ask these questions, then you answer, and it's like, I know too much. I must Oedipus Rex my eyes out. All right, guys, I'm out of here. What's going on here? I just got a tweet from someone. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you for the chat to you as well. Hoser, thank you for being in there and listening to my nonsense. Thank you, guys. I really do appreciate it. You are the best. We've got more videos coming up the rest of the week. Got a review coming up tomorrow. Got a review coming up on Friday of a good social deduction game. By the way, you were asking about social deduction games. That's coming up later this week. That's a good one. And that's it. So thank you very much. I am Ghost. Good night, everybody.